There's a country in Africa where almost nobody uses smartphones, where Wi-Fi barely works, where cash is the only way to survive, and where an entire capital city looks frozen in 1938. Welcome to Eritrea, a nation so mysterious that many travelers call it the most isolated country on Earth. But beyond the headlines, beyond the politics, lies one of the most fascinating and misunderstood destinations in Africa. From futuristic Italian architecture to haunting war relics to untouched Red Sea islands with some of the clearest water on the planet, this is not your average vacation. And if you're planning to visit Eritrea, there are things you absolutely need to know before you go. This is your complete Eritrea travel guide, everything from visas and money to internet, safety, permits, and the hidden realities of traveling inside one of the world's most secretive countries. The moment you arrive in Asmara, it feels like stepping into another era. Italy colonized Eritrea from 1890 to 1941, and unlike many former colonies, much of that architecture still survives, almost perfectly preserved. You'll see Art Deco cinemas, Roman-style cafes, and futuristic buildings that look straight out of a science fiction movie from the 1930s. The most famous is the Fiat Tagliero building, a gas station designed to resemble an airplane, complete with giant concrete wings suspended in midair. But what truly shocks most visitors is how quiet everything feels.
Listen to that. If you're in any other big city in Africa or any other city in the world, it would be super loud outside, but peace and quiet.
There are very few advertisements, very few screens, almost no traffic lights, and surprisingly few people staring at phones. Eritrea doesn't feel offline. It feels disconnected from time itself. First things first, Eritrea is not an easy country to visit. Getting a visa can take weeks, sometimes even months. Many travelers need invitation letters, hotel confirmations, and approval from Eritrean authorities before entering. And even after you arrive, your freedom to travel is limited. If you want to leave Asmara and visit places like Massawa, Karen, or the coast, you'll need special travel permits from the Ministry of Tourism. Yes, even tourists. This means spontaneous backpacking doesn't really exist here. The smartest move is to plan your itinerary carefully before arrival and work with a trusted local guide or travel agency that understands the permit system. Because in Eritrea, flexibility is important, but preparation is essential. Now, here's where Eritrea becomes truly different from almost anywhere else on Earth. There are no international bank cards, no Visa, no MasterCard, no Apple Pay, and most importantly, no ATMs. Everything is cash only. You must bring enough US dollars or euros for your entire trip and exchange them into the local currency, the nakfa. And when it comes to internet, prepare for a complete digital detox.
For me, it's like, I call it a time for decleansing from the social media. And
what he's saying is accurate. To get Wi-Fi in Eritrea is like going back to the 90s. You walk inside an internet cafe, pay $2, and get a scratch card with a password. The connection is so slow that it takes minutes to send one email.
Wi-Fi is extremely limited. Mobile data for foreigners is basically non-existent. And many travelers rely on slow internet cafes where you buy scratch cards just to go online for a few minutes. Uploading a single Instagram story can take forever. But strangely, that becomes part of the experience. Without constant notifications, you begin noticing things differently. The smell of fresh coffee, the sound of old Italian espresso machines, the conversations happening face-to-face instead of through screens. Eritrea forces you to slow down. And honestly, that's something many travelers end up loving. One of the biggest surprises about Eritrea is how safe it feels. Asmara is often described as one of the safest cities in Africa.
This is definitely the safest African country that I've ever been.
This is the safest city in Africa.
In Africa, though.
Yeah, and nothing will happen. You could pass through a dark alley. Nothing bad will actually happen.
Violent crime is extremely rare. You can walk through the city late at night and still see families outside drinking coffee and talking together. But safety here comes with important boundaries. Photography is highly sensitive. Never film military buildings, police, airports, checkpoints, or government facilities. Always ask before filming locals. And remember, Eritrea is politically sensitive. Avoid confrontational political discussions, especially on camera. Respect and humility go a long way here. If you treat people warmly, most Eritreans respond with incredible hospitality. Asmara itself is the main attraction. Spend your mornings drinking macchiatos at Cinema Impero or Cinema Roma, two legendary cafes that feel untouched by modern globalization. Explore the Medaber market, where artisans recycle old metal, engines, and scrap into tools, furniture, and household goods. Nothing gets wasted here. Then there's Massawa, a dramatic descent from the cool highlands down to the scorching Red Sea coast. Massawa feels completely different from Asmara. The city is filled with Ottoman, Egyptian, and Italian architecture, much of it damaged during war, yet still hauntingly beautiful. Some streets feel abandoned, others glow at sunset with incredible atmosphere. It's one of the most visually unique cities in East Africa.
This building was built by the Turkish Empire, and this building right next to it was built by the Egyptians.
And offshore lies Eritrea's hidden paradise, the Dahlak Islands. Remote, untouched, barely developed, divers say these reefs are among the most pristine in the world because tourism here remains so limited. If sustainable tourism ever arrives responsibly, this region could become one of Africa's greatest travel destinations. Eritrean culture is deeply rooted in community and hospitality, and nowhere is that more visible than in the traditional coffee ceremony. Coffee beans are roasted fresh in front of guests, frankincense fills the air, popcorn is often served alongside tiny cups of incredibly strong coffee. The ceremony isn't rushed. It's about conversation, respect, presence. In a hyper-connected world obsessed with speed, Eritrea still values slowing down, and that may be the country's most powerful experience of all. So before you visit Eritrea, remember this: bring enough cash, download offline maps, expect power outages, be patient with permits and internet, but most importantly, arrive with an open mind. Eritrea is not a luxury destination, it's not easy travel, and it's definitely not for everyone. But if you're searching for a place that still feels undiscovered, a place untouched by mass tourism and modern distraction, Eritrea offers something increasingly rare in today's world: authenticity. A country of contradictions, of silence and resilience, of beauty hidden behind isolation, Eritrea might not be the easiest place to visit, but it might be one of the hardest places to forget. If you enjoyed this documentary-style travel guide, subscribe for more deep travel stories from the world's most fascinating destinations. And let me know in the comments, would you travel to Eritrea?